Meet Joshua Ginger Monroe. I featured him briefly in last night's video. I went to bed thinking about this guy, and this morning I couldn't shake it. So I went to dive deep so I could put this up against the 5 C's once again. The news person talked about the opposing view of Mr. Joshua Ginger Monroe. Notice the name, Joshua, like in the Bible. Ginger, and then Monroe. Did we not have a president named Monroe? Notice he's gone to black and white. If you got $10,000, you stay in the middle and give $5,000 to both. And you win because you control both sides. The black and white is like a checkerboard of the powers. It's a coincidence that both his sign and his shirt is black and white. Is that coincidence? But why? Why did not the reporter speak on this? I mean, it's definitely speaking. It's speaking without speaking. That's the death and demise of Donald J. Trump. And we know his slogan is, "Make America Great Again." So we just have to think that when he goes, America goes. So let me play for you what this guy said. I pray this is monetized. Let's see what happens.
A protester in the parking lot holding a "Lock Him Up" sign exchanged words with many Trump supporters. Joshua Ginger Monroe says he's proud to be an opposing voice.
Because somebody's got to stand out here as an opposition to Donald Trump and his cult. These people worship a golden calf, and they think that everybody thinks like them. I'm up here to tell them that no, it's wrong.
Trump did make...
Let's hear it again. Golden calf, his cult, all that. These are code words to me. And again, his name, Joshua Ginger Monroe.
Protester in the parking lot holding a "Lock Him Up" sign exchanged words with many Trump supporters. Joshua Ginger Monroe says he's proud to be an opposing voice.
Because somebody's got to stand out here as an opposition to Donald Trump and his cult. These people worship a golden calf, and they think that everybody thinks like them. I'm up here to tell them that no, it's wrong.
Trump did make...
Opposition. So let's look at this. Donald J. Trump was born June 14th of 1946. Now this guy's name again is Joshua Ginger Monroe. I'm like, well, let me go historical and look up Monroe, because we had a president. In fact, our 5th president, his name was James Monroe. Again, the 5th president of these United States. And he died July 4th, 1831. He was born April 28th of 1758. April 28th. If we take April 28th and bring it to 2024, subtract it from 6/14 of 2024, which is Donald Trump's birthday, the difference is 47. Come on, man. Ain't that crazy? Donald Trump's going to be the 47th president. And it's speaking without speaking. But if you include the ending date, you get 6 weeks and 6 days. 6. But wait, you also get the elimination number of 48, which is August 8th all day, of which I've been explaining for months now. The eclipse was on April 8th. And eclipse to me means the X It is the X all day. This thing getting deep, y'all. I remember back in the day when George Floyd was in the grocery store. He stood right next to an X that was on the floor. And the funny thing about it is that the people that were in the grocery store didn't have a mask on. And it was 2019. And Joan Rivers, there was an X next to her as she walked up the stairs when she talked about Barack Obama. George Floyd, the X, no mask. So why was the X there? Was it just 6 feet away? People, I say the thing is speaking. That's what I say. I say it's speaking. Now, let me, this is the Joan Rivers thing. I don't have that exact picture, but when she was walking up the steps, there was a 606, but right above there was an X on the door. Let me see if I can find that. I've showed it in other videos, and I just want to have the receipts. If I don't, you just have to excuse me this time. But I do believe X marks the spots. Here we go. And if I'm not mistaken, 66 days later, she was dead. It's deep, y'all. Now let's hasten on. 48 is speaking, baby. And 66 is speaking. Just like the Joan Rivers. She walked up the stairs and you saw 66. Now check this out. James Monroe comes out to 47. Is that coincidence? And also, like I said, James is 48. Watch this. James is 48. It's also 33, which is Masonic. So you mean to tell me this guy's name, coincidentally, for sake of argument, is Joshua Ginger Monroe. And we had a president named James Monroe, whose birthday is April 28th. And when I subtract that from Trump's birthday of 6/14, you get the 48 days, 6/6. When you don't include the end date, you get 47, which Trump will be the 47th president. That is a mathematical improbability. Can you say the powers are speaking and orchestrated this thing, allegedly? What do you think? It's deep. James Monroe, James. Now look at this here. July 4th. What is that? July 4th. Okay, let's look at something now. On July 4th, James Monroe died. July 4th. July 4th. If you take July 4th, subtract it from Barack Obama's birthday, which is August 4th, who I believe is the orchestrator of all these events, and include the ending date, look at what you get. 4 weeks, 4 days. Who was the 44th president? Barack Obama. Is that coincidence? James Monroe's birthday, subtracted from Barack Obama. And remember, July 4th, people, look. That is the death date, July 4th. And when you look here, this is the death, which is not spoken, of Trump. How come the reporter did not mention this? It's right there, it's speaking. Inquiring minds want to know, baby. Don't make no sense. He didn't talk about that. Death of America and death of Donald J. Trump. But look at this. Joshua Ginger Monroe talked about the golden calf. The golden calf is in the book of Exodus and Kings. The golden calf. When the people got restless, when Moses went up to the mountain to get the 10 Commandments, they asked Aaron, the brother of Moses, to make a golden calf, and they made it out of earrings. Ain't that deep? Golden calf comes out to what? 47. Come on, man. 47. What is 47? Well, Trump's going to be the 47th president. But also, calf by itself comes out to 22. And what is 22? I've showed you that before as well. It's all there. In the movie I Pet Goat 2, Barack Obama is a cartoon character. He sweats a V off his head after the American flag is blowing in the wind in shreds. Do you see the connection? The American flag is blowing away in shreds in I Pet Goat 2. That's the death of America. And V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. Calf is 22. Is that coincidence? And one of the things that happened back in the day, in relation to 22, which is the V, we had President Bush. I've shown this photograph before. Let me find it. He was at the school on 9/11, and one of his people whispered in his ear in relation to the planes that had hit the Twin Towers, the two planes. Gotta find that photograph right quick. I might not have that, but you guys have seen that before. In that photograph, again, Bush is there. So I don't have that photograph, but yeah, I'll show that in subsequent videos. I don't have that photograph, but yeah, there is a photograph where one of the people there whispered in George Bush's ear. So let's move on. I want you to understand something, people. Let's look at these numbers. Let's look at this. Exodus, the book of Exodus, where Joshua was in, right? Joshua. We brought that in. The golden calf. Exodus was the golden calf, right? Comes out to 88. What is Trump's text number? 88022. This guy had an opposing view, right? Joshua Ginger Monroe had an opposing view. Opposing is 48. That's the X, April 8th. And 33 is Masonic. Then lock him up was his sign. Speaking without speaking. Boom. Lock him up. Lock him up speaks to 45 and 45. Who was the 45th president? Trump. Then look at this. While Trump was speaking, this guy walked out of nowhere, had on 18. When you reverse 18, you get 81. Who's 81 years old? Joe Biden. I told you. Trump and Biden are twined. It's Cain and Abel with a twist. It's the black and the white.